The new expansion is releasing on December 7th with Worlds on December 8th. And that means that the biggest tournament of the year is going to be played with new cards and decks that have never been seen before. And I personally could not be any more hyped. So what I'm going to do leading up to the expansion is post a bunch of decks for the new champions. We're going to start this video with reacting to the Aatrox cinematic, and then I have 3 fresh Aatrox decks for you that you can try on the day of the expansion. Let me know what you think of this format and make sure to like and comment if you want to see more of it. We're gonna watch some Aatrox. All right, have fun, guys. I cannot wait to see these animations.
I remember this place and the endless blood.
Tab, boys. All right, we've already seen the cards. There's the World Ender.
The corners of the world. We used weapons of war, then became them.
Huh.
Not even realms could divide us over.
Aren't you dead now? Ooh, now your Aatrox dies.
War is no place for cowards.
Wait, but why is he talking? He's dead. Wait, Aatrox killed himself. Huh? Oh, wait. Oh, wait, you put... Wait, that's actually so smart. I didn't even think of that. When Aatrox loses his weapon, can you put the Aatrox weapon, the Darkin blade? Can you put that on a follower, and then when you World Ender, it will transform into Aatrox? I didn't even think of that. That's actually really clever. That's hilarious. That's really cool, actually. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean, with World Ender. Yeah, that's really interesting. That's super cool. Did not think of that.
All must end.
Wow.
I am doomed.
That's better than I thought. That's better than I thought. I did not know it worked that way, but that's better than I thought.
We were never fated to bow.
But, okay, so the thing with Aatrox that I thought was really awkward is how are you ever going to have an Aatrox to make that happen, right? But with World, you always have to blade. If your first Aatrox dies, you have to World Ender, you have to blade. So you're always like kind of scared of Aatrox coming back because if that weapon is equipped, that means World Ender can do something. That's super interesting. I did not realize that. That's awesome. That's very cool. That's better than I thought.
No, Pantheon. You were fated to die.
Fated to die.
Destroy everything. Pray, fool.
Oh my god. Yeah, it levels Kain and Varus too, yeah. Wow.
Yes! Oblivion!
Okay. Did not realize it worked that way, but that is very cool. That actually makes Aatrox a little bit better than I thought. Anaka pulls an Anaka? Did they do that here?
Pray.
How? Wait, how? Okay, I'm so confused with a lot of these interactions. How did they do that? Wait, how did Anaka pull another Anaka? From the top 6 cards, summon an attacking follower or non-champion Darkin. So the weapon already counts as a Darkin. So this basically means that when Anaka pulls Anaka, it means there is a Darkin spear on top of the deck. That's the one, that has to be what happened. Okay, so if you have a weapon on top, that's also a lot better. That makes this card a lot better than I thought. I did not realize that. Yes, I didn't know that if there was a weapon, it would transform into the Darkin.
Hey.
Interesting. Very interesting. Did not realize it worked that way. That's super cool, actually. God. Wait, I want to see these. I want to see the world. Like, Aatrox is like cool, but World Ender, my god.
All must end.
Yeah, that's good.
I am doomed.
That's good. That's good. The animation, so yeah, it's really nice. That's good. That's a good one. And a cup printer, yeah, kind of have to at this point, right? Wow. Better than I thought. I rated Aatrox as a 1. I'm gonna up that to a 2 after that. I still think it's not great. Like, the deck building must be so unbelievably awkward for Aatrox. Okay, so if we go to the builder, after what we just learned, I still think you have to build Aatrox with either Varus or Kain. Now, I think Kain is probably a little bit better. What do you guys think? Like, Varus will still level, right, in this deck because you're equipping weapons. But I'm pretty sure this is a Kain deck. Yeah, the deck building is complete. Like, you can actually say that Aatrox basically does not have an origin. Terrible origin, honestly. A 3-to-1 split, you can't do that. Like, Kain and Varus are their own region, and so is Aatrox. You can't pick a third region. We only picked the good Darkin. I think the Darkin Spear is actually quite good. Anaka will probably carry a lot of games. So you probably want 2 of these. Do you ever go like 3 weapons? I think you want to just get some good ones, and that's it. Darkin Fan will help you stay in the game. Darkin Aegis is just good durability. And I think that's it. Maybe Darkin Lodestone. Just maybe. You think it's Bloodletter? I don't even know if it's Bloodletter. I don't even think it's Bloodletter, actually. We need units, though. Yeah, but I'm just trying to figure this out first, because this is where it starts. You pick the weapons that are good enough, and then you build or pick the units that want to use them. Halberd is terrible. Halberd is unplayable in this deck. I would use Harpoon. I don't see it. I think the worst options in here are Halberd, Harpoon, and Staff. You can't pick the auto-equip followers. This region is Kane. The regions for this deck are Kane and Aatrox. Aegis, yeah, we have 2 Aegis. We have 2 Aegis, 2 Fan, 2 Spear. And these are 3 weapons that are just durable. They will keep you in the game so you can play Aatrox and win off of it. I think Ballista might be okay. Like, Ballista, it's probably like 1 Lodestone, 1 Ballista or something like that. Wouldn't the Fan turn into 3 followers? Yes, it would. They're all quite good. Do we ever play Lambert to get Aatrox? We can't, because this is Shurima. This is really awkward. I'll explain again. We have 2 regions already. Our regions are Aatrox and Kane, and that's it. Ballista seems good. So, okay, here's the thing, right? We're building this deck right now. I think there's absolutely no shot that an optimized list is gonna have like a 2-2-2-2 split for the weapons. Start adding Cultists? No, I want to figure out what good weapons are first. Bloodletters and Nugget. I don't think it's Bloodletters. It is a 1-mana weapon, though. Like, yesterday, when we tried to build this, we ran into the issue that our units just sucked. Okay, we'll do 1. So, and then we type in Cultist. Bloodletters keeps fodder. That's actually true. Okay, Bloodletters, okay, that's a good point. That's important. I think Keeper of the Box is great here. Momentous Choice always good. We need Furious Wielder for any interaction. We need Unforgiving Cold. I think Shadowblade Fanatic is better in this deck than the Blooming Cultist for sure. Our units get transformed anyway? Yes, they do. They get transformed into better units, but you still need to get there. It's not like, oh, I'm playing the game, I'm just gonna World Ender all willy-nilly. You need to get there. I also don't think it's the Ambitious Cultist. I'm not sure. Just because, yeah, okay, maybe you're right. It does have a good body. So these are the 3 drops. We cannot run Altar. I don't think we should need Headless Resurrection. Heedless Resurrection. Ranger Knight can strike twice in 1 turn. It can. I'm not sure how relevant it is. No, I don't. Buru I don't think it's very good for this deck. Then again, equipping it is fine. Like, you want to equip the Boer Cultist with either the Darkin Aegis or the Spear. Tempting Prospect is such a bad card, though. Wave is okay. I think this is terrible. Unending Wave is probably fine. I think Unforgiving Cold is a 2 of, Unending Wave is a 2 of, and then we have 3 spots left for probably just a good unit. We have 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop, and that's it. We're never gonna get to like any kind of late game. Terrible when it can draw Darkest. It doesn't draw though. You're paying a card to get another one. You're basically replacing 1 card in your hand for another, and you're paying 1 mana for it. That's not very good. Resurrection is not good here either. Devastation, I don't think is great in this deck either. How about playing with Fryer for control? I mean, probably not. I don't see that working. Okay, we'll type in Darkin again. Okay, so I'm down to have 1 more Bloodletters. We might have to cut this. We cut that for the Harp, because Harp is just, it's 1 more mana, but it's actually like a card that lets you play. The problem is this one, Shadowblade Fanatic, wants to be equipped with the Darkin Fan, or the Lodestone, or the Bloodletters. So then we go back to the Cultists. And I think it's just a unit. It might be the Ranger Knight Defector, but nah, it's the Cultist, right? We need an early drop. It's the Cultist. Cultist will also kind of help us keep our units alive, and it's a good target for weapons. I think Ranger is unplayable in this deck. Like, we don't need units that make like a big impact, that do something flashy. Ranger Knight is a good card, sure, in certain decks, but in this one, you're playing for Kane and Aatrox. They're both like game enders in their own right. If we start playing Ranger, we're paying 4 mana for a 4/3 that needs to have a weapon equipped to be relevant. That's like a big investment. We just want to like take it slow, just play some units that will survive until we can get to Kayn and Aatrox. So we might have to cut like one weapon here. I'm not sure which one it is. Yeah, I think it's one ambitious. I think you're right. What changed here is that after seeing the trailer, I was just being an idiot. Let's be honest. I didn't realize it worked this way. But when you equip the Darkin Blade, like Aatrox dies, right? You're just cutting, you're just attacking as much as you can with Aatrox to get some health back because it's a 6-mana 6/6. That's pretty good. Eventually your Aatrox dies. You put the Darkin Blade on like your Forsaken Bakai or your Lonari Cultist. You play the World Ender and Aatrox comes back leveled. And that's the whole idea behind the deck. You put every weapon, you put the Darkin Sight, you put the Darkin Blade, you put all these Darkin weapons on your Cultists, you play World Ender, all the Cultists transform into Darkin, and you end the game that way. What's powerful about this is that you need to get World Ender by playing Aatrox. So that means when Aatrox dies, you always have the Darkin Blade as well. You always have both. You always have both World Ender and Darkin Blade. The problem is obviously, does this deck like do enough to survive and to strike? Okay, so we'll save this one. We'll call this Darkin Cultists. I will try a Demacia deck or a Weapon Master deck. No, a Demacia deck, I think. Okay, let's try a Demacia deck. Hold on. Okay, for the people that want to see the decks, here you go. Getting the Knight is kind of bad. It's not really, because when you play another Aatrox, you immediately get another World Ender for the same cost. It sucks, of course, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, I don't want to try Jack's Aatrox because Weapon Masters are bad. But I think the Demacia might have some legs here. Okay, I don't know if it's necessarily a Vayne deck. I think it is. We'll put her in for now, but I'm not sure if this is a Vayne deck. So Steadfast, Elkin, Fishfight, probably. Broadwing, of course. Zealous Ranger Knight, Faithful Wolf Dog. The new spell that auto-equip too, very good actually. That might honestly make this deck low-key better than it looks. I actually think this is a straight up a 3 of. This deck is actually pretty promising. This is where Ranger Knight is very good, yes. Ranger Knight Defector. This might actually be a real deck. Hold on. This might actually be a real deck. I feel like this deck could use either a Blood-Cursed Harpy, but it's not like, this card is kind of like, I want to end the game with this, but you're already with Aatrox for that. That's for the same reason. I think Combat Cook is not that great either. It kills the weapon, not sure if good. True, you're killing a Darkin with this. Yeah, it's probably not playable. Okay, so Aatrox. This is a cool deck, dude. This is a cool kill Bard. I think that's the deck I'm building next when we get to kill. I don't know. Wait, this deck is low-key, like, possibly just insane. This might actually low-key be like a really good deck. Because now you can just play the Darkin Harp and you have Aatrox as your win con. Darkin Spear is also just good. Lodestone also just okay. Probably one of. Darkin Harpoon lets you get draw in this deck. Do we need draw? I think Catch is also like way too good to ignore. Catch is an easy 3 of. Yeah, draw's in here. We got the, right? Oh, I didn't add Aegis? Oh. Yeah, Aegis needs to be in here. This is a 2 of. Fish Fight is good interaction. Yeah, okay. Catch is a 2 of. Might have to make this a 2. No, this is good. This is minions. Problem is the amount of spells. I'm thinking about cutting a Lodestone, honestly. I'd switch a Spear and Lodestone around. 2 load, 1 spare. It's a good effect for the Demacia units, though. Yeah, Delani. It's like a 1-mana weapon. Is why I think it's okay. Powerful. Lodestone is bad with Vayne. I don't think that matters when you have like Watchdog, Ranger Knight, this, but okay, I kind of see it. I do see it. Okay, do we have enough minions? We have one drop, we have a 2-drop, we have another 2-drop, we have a 3-drop Vayne, Ranger Knight Defector. I think that's enough. Do we need something like Riposte? Rally? Wouldn't it be good to add at least every Darkin weapon once? I don't really see why. You could just play the good ones. Why would you need like why would you need everything once? Because even if you have 2 of them equipped, when Aatrox plays World Ender, you still get like double Steratu or whatever. Yeah, we need Ballcocks in this game. Concerted? Oh, Concerted is nice actually. I like Concerted. You need to play different Darkin weapons to play Aatrox, no? That's true. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 different weapons. That's a good point. Okay, let's switch this around then. We'll do concerted. We'll cut 1 bloodletter. Oh, I can just click here. Oh, this site is fantastic. God bless you, Vivo. It's probably Darkin fan then, right? Or Darkin Ballista. When assimilate, are they still equipped? Yes. Yes, they are. So what if we add one of these, we cut 1 spare, and we add 1 harpoon? Might need more combat tricks. We have fish fight, we have 1 concerted. I think that's enough, but I wouldn't mind slowing this deck down a little bit. I don't even think Vayne is like particularly good, except for the fact that he equips a weapon, right? And that's what makes Vayne good. But Harpoon summons a smaller boy if you're not playing a draw deck. You're right. You're right. But when you play World Ender, it's gonna be like turn 6, and then you just get a 7/7 from a card that draws you cards. Like worst case scenario, Darkin Harpoon draws you an Aatrox and you lose. Everything else is like fine. If you draw a weapon, you can like replace it on something. What weapon is better than the Harpoon? Do we think Darkin Ballista is better than the Harpoon? A lot of cards here don't really care about that. I honestly think I'm still cutting this and just playing the Darkin Spear. Imagine putting the Darkin Spear on Broadwing. That's a 0/5 that gives your allies +1/+1. It's good. That's just good. Like Darkin Spear makes actual sense in these type of decks. I think this deck is low-key pretty good. I'll go through Demacia one more time. I'll type in Strike. Now, what do we play from this? I think there's nothing else we want to play. The 3 of Fish Fight is already enough. 1 Concerted Strike, just for like, you know, sometimes you draw it. Would the spell mana from Staff be good for World Ender? I don't think so, no. I think this is awful. Any weapon that gives +0/+0, in my opinion, is unplayable. They need to have like some insane effect. I think the Eye of God is also an unplayable card. Entirely. This deck, low-key, looks pretty good. I like this deck. This has legs. Let's save it. Vayne Aatrox. GrappLr said Eye of God is broken. The only way I can see Eye of God being good is if there is some Alawi Ornn deck. I don't see it otherwise. The thing with a 0/0 weapon is that you're putting it on a unit and you're paying 2 more mana to basically give that unit nothing until you attack. If that unit gets removed, you lose your unit, you have to re-equip your weapon, and you have all that mana that's just lost. So, is there any other Aatrox deck we can build? I don't think there's any other region Aatrox would be good in. I don't think so. That's probably it. Aatrox Ornn. Aatrox Ramp? Sure, we can do that. Why not? 1 more Aatrox deck for down the road. Wait, what's the new... This one? I think it's this one, right? Because this one gets a unit. This is a deck where you care more about units than the Heal from Crystal. Yeah, the Behold doesn't work. It doesn't. Because you get the World Ender only when Aatrox is played. Hunting Boar and the... Yeah, actually, the Hunting Boar is funny here. I'll add it because you can put a weapon on this bad boy and start slapping people. You can turn this into an actual threat that way. That's funny. Tarrosh. Oh, hey, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Okay. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I'm seeing the picture here, chat. That's pretty good. There's some synergy there. Darkin Spear, obviously. What else? Probably this one. More ramp. I don't think we want more ramp than this. Catalyst is pretty bad. We have this card to ramp, and we have Hunting Board to ramp. Solani isn't just better than Tarrosh here, you might be right, but then it's turn 6, right? 5 mana ramp and heal. I think Catalyst is like not super good here. I think that card makes a lot of sense. Like, you don't want to go overboard. Like, we already have 2 cards that ramp. Usually, like, you only have 1 card that ramps. Double freeze? Yes. Unforgiven Cold. Very good. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Darkin. Let's cut down 1, and then we add this one. I think it's the fan. Sure. Okay, now we add some solid units from Freljord, which is surprisingly difficult. It's probably not an Ornn deck, right? Okay, we do play the girl. We played Apprentice. Apprentice is pretty good. The thing with World Ender is that you keep the weapon. Yeah, I think Ornn followers are solid here, actually, yeah. Lookout? What the hell is a lookout? We could just type in Force and add some. Like, this is just good. This probably isn't good. These also probably aren't very good. Maybe the Bellows Breath? Probably not. What's the time and dedication, this one? That all seems pretty solid, actually. Sentry, I can see Sentry. Like, the thing with Sentry is, yeah, it's nice that you're drawing, but you don't want to put a weapon on the Sentry. Fauti Pora also seems pretty bad. Yeah, Bloodletters is fine. Sunny, help me, what do I play? Aatrox. The answer is Aatrox. Blood of the Hard Blood. I don't think that's the name of the card. Gift is probably not bad, actually. Gift is... Like, again, the thing that I'm excited about is the fact that they keep the equipment when you assimilate. So forging actually matters. So we still have to add a champion. Is it Ornn? I could see like 2 Ornn, one Braum even. Braum low-key, like not the worst. Braum with a weapon, doable. Can work. Like Braum with Bloodletters, surprisingly okay. 1 Ornn, 2 Braum, yeah, I see that. Sure, let's do that. Very often, I build these decks, and I think to myself, why am I adding Braum when I can just add Gnar? Why am I adding Braum when I can just add Trundle? Why am I adding Braum if I can just add Sejuani? Yeah, Braum is actually better with Ballista. That is true. This card, yeah, I think we cut one of these, and we add a Ballista. Ball. We have 2 more cards we can add. Nothing else that's interesting for Freljord has been added, though, this expansion. Like, Here to Help is terrible. ARAM? Of course. Of course there's one ARAM in it. Of course this is an ARAM deck. Of course, yeah. We have Unforgiving. Unforgiving is necessary in this deck. Okay, we have 1 drop. We have 2 drop. 2 2-drops. Good. We have 3 drop. 2 3-drops. 4 drop. It looks solid. Like, we add 1 more unit that can hold the line. We're kind of chilling, no? If we add a Babbling Bjerg, we have, like, another Aatrox tutor. Aatrox gives us a way to strike. Okay, what I'm asking myself right now, chat, do we even want to ramp? Do we even care about ramping? Why are we trying to ramp with this deck? Why don't we just cut these 2 ramp cards and add, like, some solid units? I'm thinking about just cutting... Okay, I'm probably cutting the Boar. Yeah, Boar for Tavern seems better. Maybe even Boar for 3 Sisters. I think 3 Sisters is a lot better. I think it's 3 Sisters. Combat Cook should not be necessary. We just want to play Dark weapons. We don't want to play any other weapons. Add Poro? No, Poro sucks. I'm not adding Poro. Zolani any good here? Darkin Fan does kind of power up Zolani. Avalanche or Bellow Breath would be great. So here's the thing though, right? If we go into this new expansion, when we go into new patch, we get 3 champions that don't care about going wide with tall, or they don't care about going wide with small units, not tall, small. Kill has some small units, but they all want to be like buffed up a little bit. So Bellow's Breath or Avalanche is not going to clear a kill board. Rise doesn't even play any minions. Doesn't do anything there either. And Aatrox also doesn't play any small minions, really. So it's, yeah, it's questionable. What if we just play like 1 Bury the Nice, though? Bury the Nice will actually work. Bury the Nice to get rid of opposing weapons. Rod Colossus doesn't really fit this deck, though. What happens to forge stats from the weapon when they assimilate? It says that the unit you're assimilating keeps the weapon. So I'm gonna assume that they keep the forge stats, which is why I think forge is decent. It's the whole reason I think forge is like doable here. Spirits Unleashed. I would, but weapons don't get the buff from spirits. So that makes it a little bit less good. Cut Ornn for Zolani. I think Ornn is kind of sus. I don't know. I think a 1-up Ornn is fine. Some top end. The Darkin Fan is broken. I think it is a very, very good card. Don't know about broken. It's all like nice, chat. It's good, but we don't have any like super meaningful attacking units. Like except Braum. Braum can start attacking. I guess the 1/4 can start attacking. Maybe we do want to add like a heal. But which one? Kindly Tavern Keeper? To heal up the weapon? Gift, if we have Gift here, but this always heals Nexus. And I don't want to play the 5-mana unit because that one is bad. I think it's probably just Tavern Keeper. Tavern Keeper is good for healing your own units here. We do need to fight. We need to strike to get the World's Ender like to any meaningful point. Which also makes me think maybe we just want to cut this and add Troll Chant. Maybe even we cut this. What if we cut Wild Mysticism and add Troll Chant? What if we cut that and we add some Troll Chants? I think I'm a lot happier with that. Because again, striking is important. We have one slot left. Does the buff from the weapon from Harpal transfer onto the Darkin? We're not sure, but I'm gonna assume that it does. Add Ball Cogs. Yes. Ball Cogs. I think there are some bad cards in here. Like, for example, Gift of the Heartblood, I just don't see working. It is a draw card, though, which does matter. It does draw, and it does heal you. Sentry draws. Yeah, a draw should be okay. What happens when we run out of cards? We're kind of screwed. But that's also the question. Do we run out of cards? Do we ever run out of cards? I don't think this deck runs out of cards, really, because we get the weapons, and if we don't get the weapon payoff, we can just play the unit that's attached to it. We can play the Darkin. We probably don't run out of weapons super fast. Yeah, okay, maybe one new ramp, sure. I can see that. We'll play this as a one of. Okay. And that's 3 Darkin, just like that. 3 Darkin decks. We have 1 Ornn. I'm not comfortable going more than 1 Ornn. 2 Braum is surprisingly good here. 2 Braum will actually take a lot of games. Braum with the Halberd, Braum with the Bloodletters, Braum with the Ballista, even Braum with the Darkin Harp. Not preferable, but hey. Pretty cool. Not unhappy with these decks at all. That's 3 decks. Three Aatrox decks right here that will probably get refined before the release, but they're here for the taking. If you're looking for a way to play these Darkin at release, I got you covered.